Why did I start with Unreal Engine? Ever since I was a young boy, I've been intrigued by the concept of being able to create just about anything using a computer and my own imagination. I dabbled first in HTML and CSS, but creating flashy websites weren't really what I wanted to be doing. After all, I wanted to create games. Big, massive games. Games where millions of people could live out their wildest fantasies with castles and dragons and zombies and yeah, everything. That was my first problem. A problem which I would struggle with over the course of the next decade. You see, I, like many others, wanted to create something much bigger than I was capable of doing. I mean, you can't be planning out the f***ing Star Trek of video games when you're only just able to print out Hello World in your terminal with the use of a cheat sheet. So my plans burned hot and fast. I started something, had ambitions way too high, and a couple hours, days, weeks later, I gave up. Over the course of a couple decades almost, oh shit, I'm getting old, I had ended up jumping back and forth between projects, googling what language should I learn, only to find 9,000 different articles saying different things. However, they all had one thing in common: don't give up. So I found myself a program and I stuck to it. At the time, I wanted to create mainly simple platformers, so I used a software called GameMaker. GameMaker uses a language called GML, or Game Maker Language, which is also an object-oriented programming language, or OOP. GameMaker came with its own little sprite creator and had everything I would want. After reaching over 2,000 hours in GameMaker, I decided it was time for a change. I downloaded Unreal 4 and was instantly blown away by how much I've learned over on GameMaker. Of course, it was a learning curve to switch from one to another. The language was more complex, the features of the engines were miles long, the UI was totally different, but the visual scripting, or blueprint, part of Unreal is something I instantly fell in love with. I started testing out different things, starting a new project every single day, sometimes even up to 10 different projects in a day, only to see what I was capable of creating. I do feel that Unreal's visual scripting is miles ahead of everything else, but I've also heard that Unity is catching up. Does that mean that Unreal's blueprints are risky to learn? Not at all. The amount of time and money Epic puts into the development of Unreal Engine shows. And did I mention that it's free? I want to finish off this video by saying a couple things. Number one, remember MVP, minimum viable product. This is the bare minimum that you need to create in order to have a functioning version of your game, in order to get a feel for how it will go. This includes just the basic core mechanics. Imagine this: what would you need to make if you were going to make an MVP version out of Super Mario? What about Counter-Strike? Number two, do the same task, the same work, the same problem solving 10 times, 100 times, hell, maybe even 1,000 times. I guarantee you that the first time you do it, it might be hard, but by the 5th time you're doing it, you start not to only memorize, but also understand why you do what you do. Repeat this until you're comfortable doing it. Becoming a game developer has for many years seemed like a pipe dream for most, but with the advancements in visual scripting, it is a dream that is closer than ever. Hope I'll see you on the Unreal forums. Until next time.